Hello everyone, and a very big welcome to the 67th Sydney Film Festival, and it's a virtual edition because of COVID-19. My name's Sandy George, and I'm absolutely delighted to be hosting this 15-minute Q&A about the Polish film Lessons of Love, which is one of the films in the annual program of European Films by Women. The film's got two directors, two for the price of one, and I'm going to ask them first to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Kasia Mateja. I'm one of the two directors. It's very nice to meet you. And I was also one of the cinematographers of Lessons of Love.
My name is Małgorzata Goliszewska, and I was co-directing with Kasia and co-script writing with our producer, Ania.
Great.
Ania Stylin.
Could you please talk to me about the circumstances around deciding to make this film? Were you looking for this sort of subject matter, or was it more a case of finding your leading lady and just wanting to make a film about her?
Mm-hmm. I can start because it started from me, actually, and then maybe Kasia can continue. It started in 2016 because at that time I really wanted to make a film about a certain place, about dancing for seniors, which I really, really loved because I loved the atmosphere of that place. And also I came there to talk to the people. I was speaking with them about love. I was looking for advice for myself, but I was also experiencing some amazing stories which happened there. But there was this one lady, Yola, who really stood out. And I thought she would be one of the characters of that film. And I invited Kasia from the very beginning to be cinematographer of this film. And when we thought that we are almost finished, we actually understood that we are at the beginning of making a film about Yola, that the film should be about Yola.
So can you
do you want to add?
Can you explain more about what the film was when you thought you were near finishing?
Okay, so
it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was only in the dancing. Everything happened only in the dancing. And we understood we have to enter Yola's house and just concentrate on her.
Yeah. And I have to ask, what advice were you looking for yourself? I can't leave that comment without following up what advice you were looking for yourself.
I mean, I was making this like big project. I was visiting several dancings because it was like an art project. I was talking to older people on dancings and asking them for advice about love because at that time I was very disappointed. I was after a series of breakups. But let's Kasia say something also, how it was for her, the beginning of the process.
Okay.
Yeah, at the beginning, when Gosia invited me to the previous version of the film and on documentation, I saw Yola and I knew from the beginning that she must be in the film. And as Gosia said, we thought it's the end of story, but we were a part of a workshop, Dog Lab Poland, in Poland, and then we discovered that it's a very serious project and we need a couple of more years to follow Yola and her story. We met our producer and the journey started.
And why did you become, at that stage, a co-director? I mean, it's not unusual for a film to have two directors, but it's also not common.
We we felt that because from the beginning, from the first workshops, I was participating in all of these situations, and the project was so serious, so big, and it felt kind of natural. And we also were feeling that we are doing the same movie, and we needed ourselves. We needed our support, and that was why, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I'm glad you made it just about her, because she's so adorable. You can't keep your eyes off her, I don't think. At what stage in her life, you said you met her in 2016, I think, or around that time. So at what stage of her, had she left her husband then?
Yes, it was just when I met her, she was shortly after her first operation. So she had a real change in life because she was feeling very sick, and she left Italy for Poland to have operation in Poland, because the operation that we show in the film, it's Jola's second operation already. Her first operation was for her stomach, and after that operation, when she saw that her husband is really totally not interested how she's feeling, she told us that's when she decided, okay, I'm really I have to end this, and I want to stay in Poland. And I met her in that moment, and she also told us later that if she wasn't in that state of mind, maybe she wouldn't agree for a film so easily, for a film about her intimate life. But she was in a moment where, okay, I need something new. I need, something for myself. So that was perfect moment for her to agree also for such a film.
Yeah. How did she react to the finished film?
She came to my house with Wojtek and with Lodzia, with her friend, and all three were watching the film on this couch, and they were laughing. They were Lodzia was crying. They were laughing. They loved it. When Wojtek saw Bogdan, I was afraid of this. When Wojtek will see Jola's husband on the screen, because he never seen him, he said, "Oh, he's similar to me. He looks similar to me." And when it finished, they said, "Yes, this is all true." And I asked, "Can I show this to people all over the world?" "Yes, please, everyone should see it." That's what they said. Yeah.
And what sort of questions is she asked? Because you've had a few Q&As about the film. What sort of questions is she asked from the audience?
Kasia?
Jola, she has a great connection with the audience. We were able to see it because she was in Amsterdam at ITFA, and also with Gosia in Prague. So she is magnetizing the audience. The women are surrounding her, and they just want to talk with her about everything. So the biggest question is why did she wait so long? But the story is complicated, and all this abuseness, and it's a really serious topic. But Jola's answer is that she wants to share with the world, and she wants to tell all the women not to do her mistake and to leave the bad husbands much earlier.
Yeah. Here in Australia, there is at least one woman killed by her partner or former partner at least once a week. And I wondered if you did a lot of research into domestic violence as part of this film, and if you did, how that influenced the film.
Mm-hmm. Actually, for me, I just concentrated on Yola and on her story, and I didn't. While doing the film, I didn't have any social agenda. You know, I didn't want. I was concentrated on these three women: Yola, who didn't leave, who left very late; Lodzia, who left after the third time someone hit her; and Jagoda, who wouldn't let anyone hit her, you know, ever. So for me, this was the statistic, and I was really concentrated on these three women. And the longer we were making the film, we saw that, okay, this is a story of Yola, but this can really help women. We saw the power of this while the film was being made, and then we decided to concentrate more on this topic of domestic violence a bit more, because at first we thought this we really want to make a happy, funny, a bit crazy film about a lady who has a new life. But then we understood that so many women can relate with Yola's past, that we have to stress this out, but still remain joyful, because there are so many films about domestic violence which are so hard to watch, which are so bringing you down. So we
was that change of direction taken fairly early on in the process of the second film, or did that realization that you had to concentrate more on that aspect of her life happen sort of later in the process?
This aspect was kind of obvious, because the fact that Bogdan, Yola's husband, is a pure evil. So at the beginning, we thought that maybe we are not going to show him at all. But after we entered the Italian villa, and we were able to record their conversation, and we recorded few conversations between them. Later in the process of editing, we decided that we have to show him. And for me, the fact that so many women are experiencing the abuseness and also the problem that in Poland in this generation it's also a kind of social issue, because it's easy to say that start a new life, but for the lady at Yola's age, it's not so easy, because all this society is telling to the people, don't leave the husband, or even the church. So that was important from the beginning.
I'd like to talk to you about the visual style of the film, because it really struck me while watching it that she is such a compelling character that you're just glued to her on the screen, and you kind of, it's not that you don't notice anything else, but she's just so compelling. And I wondered what your decisions were about the film stylistically, whether you had references and so on. Kasia, that might be one for you.
Yeah, we wanted the film to have a kind of a fictional visual style. It was important, not from the very beginning, but this style of the film developed, and we knew that that Yola is such a character and she's the most important, and that camera should be concentrated on her all the time. At the editing process, we changed our minds, and we showed some portraits of different people, like Wojtek, for example, when he is going into the hospital, that's his scene, but from the whole film, it's just Yola's scenes, yeah? And technically, in many scenes, we are using 2 cameras, which allows us to edit from one angle to the other. And yeah, so the style was important.
Over what period did you film it, and how big was the crew?
How long period? So when we started in 2006, when there was this change of direction in 2016, we filmed for about 3 years or 3.5 years. We edited for, I don't know, 2 years, 1.5 years, something, because there was a period where we were filming and editing at the same time, and the editing process was showing us what else needs to be filmed.
Yeah.
And we also took part in 3 amazing workshops in DocLab Poland, in Ex-Orienta, and in Doc Incubator, and all of them helped us so much. So it was a very, very intense process. And when you ask how many people was there, usually there was 5. There was us, 2 directors. There was 2 cinematographers. I mean Kasia, and at the end it was all the time Mateusz Czuchnowski. There was our sound lady Ania Rok, who is really great, and there was Ania Stylinska, our producer.
Yeah.
And all these 5 people were living together with Bogdan and Yola in the Italian house. And at the end, there was 4 of us, because it was us 2 directors, Anya the producer, and our amazing editor Alan. And we also went through a lot together. There was really, at the end, it was 1 year of a really intense editing process.
Well, you've ended up with the beautiful film. When did you actually finish it, and how is the kind of shutdown of the world affecting getting it out to people?
We finished the film just before its world premiere, which was on at ITFA Festival. It was November 2019, last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that was our first meeting with the big audience, and it was great. We had few screenings, and the cinema, the movie theaters were full of people, and that was amazing. After that, Gosia was with Yola in Prague, and COVID-19 came and changed our plans.
We had 2 Q&As, and then we had the 3rd screening, which was sold out. And after that, the festival was shut down in the middle of the festival. So we managed to have these screenings, and now we were also taking part in online festivals in Munich, in the festival Go East in Wiesbaden, and in Hot Dogs Toronto. So, but it all happened online.
And we are very happy that we had an opportunity to see the film on the big screen, because it works really well on the big screen.
And the Q&A with all the protagonists in ITFA, that was unforgettable. But actually, the worst thing that happened to us is our Polish premiere should have been on the 7th of May, but it will happen in September instead.
Right.
Yeah, and here in Sydney, it's our first experience of the internet Q&A, and yeah, it's very new for us.
Well,
it's the first time we are doing this.
Thank you so much for making yourself available, and I'm so sorry that you can't come in person. You'll just have to make another film and bring it next year.
Thank you very much for invitation and for our conversation. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.